Hi there, and welcome back. This is a multi-part video series on how to defeat the Ender Dragon in hardcore mode with Minecraft Math. This is episode 7. This episode is perhaps less mathy than others. We're going to use the engineering design process to create the best possible base for monster hunting. Look at my fancy enchanted armor and weapons. I worked hard for these enchantments, and now I can fight mobs without nearly the worry that I might die at any instant. I prefer a good base for monster hunting rather than just wandering around looking for trouble. Let the trouble find me, I say. You see, in order to defeat the Ender Dragon, I need to collect some loot from two specific mobs, Endermen and Phantoms. Endermen drop Ender Pearls, which I need for my Eyes of Ender, plus for teleporting in the end. And Phantoms drop Phantom Membranes, which I will use to brew potions of slow falling. Now, if I have a cleric in my village, sometimes you can level them up and get them to trade you emeralds for ender pearls. But alas, I didn't get that lucky. But it's okay. I actually enjoy hunting the Endermen, and it gives you practice fighting before your big boss fight. I'm going to use the engineering design process to make the best possible base. The design process consists of these stages, as shown in this poster from the PBS Design Squad. The attribution is below in the description. First, I create my problem statement and define my requirements. My problem statement is, I need to create a monster hunting base that allows me to collect ender pearls and phantom membranes without putting myself at too much risk. My base needs to allow me to spot and provoke endermen so they can teleport to me, but it needs to let me take shelter so I can hit them without getting hurt too much. I'm not as worried about the phantoms, but it would be nice to have a shelter I can duck into if I get overwhelmed by them. Sometimes I've seen 7 or more phantoms in the sky. And I need my base to be somewhat protected from zombies, skeletons, creepers, and the usual nasty things that come out at night so I don't get overwhelmed with those. Next, I ideate, which means brainstorm. I could make my monster base in a big open plain, perhaps under a tree, but this might leave me vulnerable to attacks on multiple sides. I could make my base at the top of a tall tree and make it a sniper nest. The only problem is I will need to descend to gather loot, and it's hard to hit endermen from a tree, as you can't hit them with arrows. I could plop myself in my village and let the iron golems help me out. The only problem is the iron golems won't attack creepers, and the creepers could destroy parts of the village. I could make a little island in water and provoke the endermen to teleport to my island. This works well if you have a good-sized but not huge body of water nearby. You want it to be big enough that skeletons can't shoot you from the shore. Finally, I could make a monster hunting base on the top of a high hill, maybe protected by some cliffs. Next, I select an idea, I design it, and I prototype it. I'm going with the high hill, as there's one just across the ocean with some cliffs. I like that I'll be able to see a long distance and provoke endermen all around. Let's go! Okay, now the next step of the design process is the heart of it. We iterate. I test the design that I have, I analyze how it works, and then I make another version. This is version 1. I'm on a high hill, and I set up an underground hidey hole below me. This is my emergency shelter. I built a cobblestone ceiling 5 by 5, 2 blocks over my head. Endermen can't fit under it, so I can stay under the ceiling and hit the endermen. I have cliffs on 2 sides of my mountain. Time to hunt monsters. Here's where I got phenomenally lucky on my first night. 4 endermen spawned right in front of my mountain. I provoked them all and smacked them, and look at all the ender pearls. I'm telling you, you will not regret getting looting 3 on your sword. The mob loot you recover is insane with this enchantment. It makes your hunting so much more productive. By the end of night 1, I had a little trouble with zombies, but ended up with 17 ender pearls. So as far as enderman hunting goes, this base works very well. You need to stay awake for 3 nights without sleeping for phantoms to spawn. On the 4th night, you'll get phantoms. I did really well for those first 3 nights, but then things went sideways when the phantoms came. The phantoms distracted me so much that I didn't see how many zombies were coming, so I ducked into my hidey hole. Then I realized the zombies would break the door, so I let them in to control how I attacked them. Then I accidentally grabbed my bow instead of my sword, and swatting zombies with a bow isn't very effective. So I bailed. I ran to a hillside, dug a little spider hole type thing, and finished the zombies there. But my phantom effort was derailed, and I realized I needed to iterate on my design. I'm too vulnerable to walking mobs to really fight phantoms here. On to the next iteration. Okay, this time I've brought some blocks and enhanced the cliffs around my base. I added ladders, and the ladders start 1 block off the ground so I can jump to them, but mobs can't. Spiders will be able to get in, but zombies and skeletons and creepers won't. I just hope endermen can teleport to this base well enough. Let's try it. Okay, so iteration 2 was an improvement. I was able to get a whole bunch of phantom membranes and some more ender pearls. I'm not really satisfied with the Enderman mechanics though. They are not teleporting close enough to my little trap to enable me to hit them. They tend to teleport way below the cliffs there, or over there, and then when I walk over to them I could take more damage than I care to. I think for the next iteration I'm going to build a platform below these tall cliffs for the Endermen to teleport to, and maybe flatten out some of this terrain. I'm mostly satisfied but want better Enderman teleport areas. Okay, here's iteration 3. Let's hunt monsters. That went much better. The only change I would make is that zombies did break my door down below. And I know better, but I didn't make this simple change. I'm going to install the door backwards, facing out instead of facing in. Although zombies didn't get to me because I was above my trapdoor, this feels like a good precaution just in case I am inside my base when the zombies want in. 3 iterations, and I have a design I'm pretty satisfied with. The last step in the design process is to communicate and share your process with others, which is what I'm doing now. You should also create design documents that teach others how to make the thing you made, with enough detail that they could make it too. Include drawings and sketches, scale models, computer code, and anything else needed to replicate your invention. Knowing what I know now, this is how I would make my monster hunting base. I tested it in a creative world, and it works great for Endermen, and provides excellent defense from walking mobs. I will link to a document showing the exact specs in the description. Now that I have lots of ender pearls and phantom membranes, I'm ready for the really big steps of this process. Going to the Nether, brewing potions, and then the final boss battle with the Ender Dragon. Tune in next time for some math about the Pythagorean Theorem, trigonometry, and we're going to the Nether. Take care, and I'll see you then.